Wow. I'm filming 2 episodes on one day because I was in the mood for it, but this lighting is shit. I have this lamp right here, but it's like overcast, and so it makes me look like I have a bunch of shadows and like deep under eye circles. I look like a raccoon. Maybe if I just angle my head like this to the 45 degree towards the lighting. And if you're listening to this as a podcast and just hearing my voice, this is probably a better experience. But anyways, if you're watching on video, thanks for watching. I'm doing 2 episodes because I wanted to do something holiday themed for the Thanksgiving week. And I know not everyone celebrates it, but a cool part of Thanksgiving that I really like is the thankfulness, gratefulness aspect. And I wanted to do an episode on the greatest things to ever exist. So if you're ever going through a rough day and you're like, man, everything in this world sucks, or there's just no good thing in this world. Those are exactly the same thing. I'm just saying it in 2 different ways. If you ever have one of those days where you're like, man, a lot of things suck right now, here's a list of things that are really good in life that you might take for granted, but are just so amazing. And if you just take a second to think, wow, it's so amazing that these things exist, it helps. So before we get into it, I got a high-low buffalo. Starting with the high, I had a Friendsgiving. It was very fun, and this is our 2nd annual Friendsgiving that my roommates and I hosted. And this year's spread of food was infinitely better than any potluck we've ever hosted, because usually what happens with especially Thanksgiving potlucks or just Thanksgiving meals is there's way too many carbs, potatoes, mac and cheese, etc., etc. And I just get so sick of it. I just feel so sick, and then I feel exhausted afterwards. But this time we had a really good amount of proteins. Wow, I sound like a health guru, but seriously though, trying to eat all the bread, mac and cheese and whatever for Thanksgiving, I just can't get on board. But we had duck and chicken, and we had Brussels sprouts and all this stuff, and so it was way better in terms of being more balanced. I didn't feel so dead and exhausted afterwards. For the low, recently, not that recently, but in October, the MTA, which is New York City's subway bus system, transportation system, they increased the fees from $2.75 to $2.90, which I know is 15 cents. But my pay has not changed, and I'm paying more already for the subway. And it really adds up, especially nights when you go out and you go to pregame at someone's apartment, and you go from the pregame to a party, and then you go to the party to the club, and you go from the club back home. That's already just one night of doing things, and it adds up. And I was just thinking about how upsetting that is, that before I even get to the main event to go see my friends, whatever it is, I already dropped money. And for my buffalo, this is the weirdest thing that has happened to me. This is so weird. I keep falling down the stairs, guys. This is not even an exaggeration. I was walking with John, Tiff. They're my friends. Tiff is my roommate. And we were going down the stairs, and I legit fell down an entire flight of stairs. I've done it before, but I did it 3 times this weekend. 3 times this weekend. The first time it happened, I completely fell down the stairs. Like, I went from the top to the bottom, and it was such a long fall that as it was happening, I was thinking to myself, why am I still falling? And thank God I didn't get hurt, but it was just so weird. And then I fell again. I just keep freaking falling, guys. And I think it's because the shoes that I'm wearing don't have traction. And the stairs that I'm on also don't have friction. And so I just keep sliding. And I hope it stops after today, because it's so embarrassing and so weird that it's consistent. I don't want it to be a thing. Here's a list of the greatest things to have ever exist. This is a list I came up with in like 5 minutes, so they're very relevant right now, but obviously there are way more things that are great in this world. The first is, I need a burp. I don't know if I got that on the audio, but I just burped. Non-caffeinated decaf coffee or tea. Amazing. The fact that I can still get the taste of a coffee or tea without having to compromise my sleep is really, really nice. Like there's some nights where it's like 10 p.m. and I'm like, I just want a hot drink, and tea would do it, but I don't want to lose my sleep. Now I can sleep well and still have my tea with non-caffeinated teas. So I love them a lot, and I always have a box in my cabinet. Another amazing thing to exist is color, period. Self-explanatory. I'm so sorry if you're colorblind. I'm so sorry if you're blind, but color is just, it's just an amazing thing, and I'm grateful that I can see it and enjoy it. The next thing, the most amazing thing to exist is squishy shoe insoles. I've never had them. I never used them. But recently, my shoes have been very uncomfortable to wear. And it's because I walk so much in New York that my shoes are starting to get worn out, and it's definitely showing. And I'm definitely feeling it. Maybe because I'm also getting old, but there's pressure points on my feet. I'm not going to show my feet. There's like parts of my feet that I always feel pain when I'm walking. And I always think to myself, oh, it would be really nice to have a squishy shoe insole. The whole idea of them is amazing. I felt them before because, you know, sometimes I'll see them in the store and I'll be like, ooh, I just wanted to like see how they feel. But I've never actually put it in my shoe. Another amazing thing that exists are tailors and eyebrow threaders. Tailors because I'm a petite girl and all my pants don't fit me when I first get them, so I have to get them tailored. But this just goes for anything. You can go thrifting and get a size large of something when you're a size small, or whatever, vice versa. And you can get it tailored to fit your body and make it look like it's made for you. I only wish it wasn't that expensive, but that is one way to make sure that all clothes fit every body type. I know you could create clothes to fit every body type, but that's kind of ridiculous, because if you think about the supply chain and the amount of work that it would take to do that, that'd be a little crazy and it would be very wasteful. But if you just have tailors that are more affordable, and if people were more aware that they could just easily tailor their clothes, then that would be like the best solution. The other one, which is the eyebrow threaders, and this is completely biased because I just got my eyebrows done today, and the difference is infinite. I had the biggest caterpillars on my head, and they look like they're about to become butterflies. They were just massive, and they were doing their own thing. They were completely wild. And then I went to go get them done, and now I feel so much better. And I know it's barely a difference, but I still feel amazing with my eyebrows done. And it's so much easier to fill in your eyebrows. It literally takes 2 seconds to fill in your eyebrows after you get them done, because it's very clear where your lines are. But then if you wait too long and they get all bushy, it's so hard because you're still trying to create that perfect shape. But you can't really do that when it's like pretty blurry and you don't really know where the lines are. But it's also really scary, I do have to say, because if you find somebody who isn't good at it and they mess up your eyebrows, that is a very scary experience to go through. Another amazing thing that exists in this world is Spotify. And I'm saying Spotify because it's completely free. Just the way that they've made the app and all the features that they have, it's amazing. So good. The blend feature, the year-end Wrapped, which is coming up really soon, amazing. I just love that you can shuffle and not shuffle your playlist. You can make playlists, you can share your playlists, you can make them private, you can rename them, you can change the playlist cover. All of the things that you can do with it. It's so, so nice. Actually, I have to say I do like it a way more because I have premium and I have the family plan. It's so good, guys. It's so worth it. And it's just an amazing thing that I can get music for quote unquote almost free. It's like probably the best subscription I have ever subscribed to, ever. I would not be here without it. Another amazing technology thing is digital wallets. The fact that I don't have to carry wallets around. And this is just a me thing. I just don't like carrying bags. And I know sometimes it makes the fit better. That's a different story. But I'm just talking about in general. I really don't like carrying stuff. I'm a very forgetful person. So what happens is I will go somewhere with something and then leave without it. And it's pretty disappointing. It's happened plenty of times, so I don't really like to carry things. And having a digital wallet makes things so much easier. Getting through the subway in New York is so much faster with the digital wallet. So good. And the next thing that I love that exists is girl math. Girl math just makes everything better. The whole concept of it. If it doesn't make sense, once it does, it will make your life infinitely better. So I would highly recommend researching on TikTok, Instagram Reels, and seeing what it is exactly. Another thing that I love that exists is defrosters and steering wheel heaters. I think every car has a defroster, but not every car has a steering wheel heater. My mom's car has both, and it's so nice, especially when it's super cold in the winter and I'm trying to drive to the gym or just drive in general, and it's freaking frosted over in the front of my car, or the steering wheel is freezing, so I'm like putting my sweater over my hands or using napkins sometimes. And my mom even keeps like these arm warmers to help with steering the car when it's cold, and also when it's sunny outside and you don't want to get sunburnt on your hands. She uses those, but they're amazing. It's so nice, and it makes it so much easier to navigate your car when your fingers aren't frozen and the front of your car isn't, opaque, so you can see where you're actually going. Another amazing thing that exists is weddings. Weddings are so awesome, especially ones where you're really close to the person getting married. Just in general, the whole concept of them, there's some questionable parts of it, and I'm speaking towards like all cultures. There's some questionable parts of it, but I think just the idea that you have a bunch of people who are just so excited and supportive and loving towards a group of people is just so nice. The concept of just having so much love in the air and people celebrating and having a good time for one night all together in one place, it's just such a nice feeling. And if you're just having a bad day, you can remember that there's definitely at least one wedding happening somewhere in the world, and that is a pretty happy thing. Also, motion censored lights. I bought motion censored lights for my closet, and it is so awesome. I just walk into my closet and boom, my lights are on. I don't have to flip on a switch. I don't have to think about it. And if it's like 2 a.m. in the morning for some reason, I need to add a jacket in the middle of the night for some reason, I don't need to think about switching on my light. I just walk into my closet and my lights turn on, and it saves a lot of energy because it just turns on based on the motion. It's so nice. There's some on Amazon that I got for my room for, I think, less than $15. You just use batteries, and it's so nice. The next thing that I love is the sky. Guys, if you just have a bad day, you can just at least guarantee that in the next week or so, or that at least the sky will be nice. That you'll have a nice sky to look at. Whether it is a sunrise, a sunset, the stars in the sky, or just a nice blue sky. The sky is just so pretty, and it exists in so many different forms. And sometimes it's enough when I'm really feeling stressed or overwhelmed by a bunch of screens. If I just go outside and I stare at the sky, I'm like, okay, it's actually gonna be fine. Another thing that I love that exists are hugs. I'm a hugger, and this also makes me biased, but I do love hugs, and I just think it's just such a nice feeling to get a hug from anybody that you want to get a hug from. Another amazing thing that exists in this world is hot bread. If you ever order bread from a restaurant, a pastry from a restaurant, ask them to heat it up. It tastes way better. It's so freaking good. It's so warming and comforting. And if you have a gluten allergy, I'm so sorry. It's like a hug for your internal organs. Also, I'm not a big fan of pasta, but recently I bought Trader Joe's gnocchi, like pre-made gnocchi, and you just boil it for like 3 minutes and then you literally have a full meal. That existing is amazing. That is so awesome. The fact that, if I don't have time or if I don't know what I want to eat, I literally can just make something in 2 minutes and I get a full meal and I'm full, and the meal is less than like $5. That my income supports. The last two things that I love that exist are, one, massages. Treat yourself to a massage whenever you can. I get one every season of the year. I get at least one massage. It's the best $60 to $100 that you can spend for yourself. It's such a nice thing you can do alone because you literally just have somebody, massaging your back and whatever. And it's so comforting when I'm stressed out. You know what else is really nice for stress is boxing. I took my first boxing class this past fall, and it was the most exhilarating, releasing thing ever. I used to do taekwondo when I was younger, and I forgot how good it is for getting out emotion. To be able to like hit something and put a bunch of force and anger and all this energy towards something without any restraint, it is so nice. It's actually probably better than a massage. Like, it feels like you're physically removing stress from your body. I really need to get a boxing pass. I took one with Mikey through ClassPass, and there was this part where we were able to spend 5 minutes, I think, free boxing, where we could do whatever we want with the punching bag. And I remember it was so funny. Both of us were like yelling things and like punching the bag. Like, we were yelling things that frustrated us. I was like, I hate my boss, or I hate work. And I just like attacked the bag, and it just felt so nice. If you have a lot of like pent up anger, highly recommend physically letting it out in a safe way, and boxing is a way to do it. Last thing, that was a side one. I didn't expect to talk about that one, but surprises. I love, like, if I'm not having a good day and I have time to watch YouTube videos, I'll look up surprise videos where people get surprised with dogs, surprised with trips to Disneyland, like wedding proposals. I'll watch surprises, and it just makes me so emotional and happy. That is the kind of content I need. It just gives me hope that there's just like good moments in the world. Just to watch somebody smile and just feel so much love, it just feels so good. Like, at least somebody out there is feeling good. This is my huge list of the most amazing things to ever exist in this world. I hope you can relate, and if you have other things, let me know. And don't forget to like, rate, follow this podcast if you're listening to it in podcast format on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. But if you're watching this on my YouTube channel, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All good things. And happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate.
There's no more tears left to cry. This is my last goodbye, and I shouldn't thank you at all, but thank you for being the worst thing that's happened to me.